At Service Logic, we believe the future of the skilled trades lies in training and development. And that's why we created The Edge, a platform dedicated to empowering our greatest assets, our people. From hands-on training to leadership development, Edge is where technicians grow their skills, expand their opportunities, and build lasting careers. Because when people succeed, our companies, our customers, and our industry thrive. This is The Edge. This is the future of the skilled trades.
I chose iConnect training equipment because I already previously had some iConnect training equipment. And I was very pleased with the equipment I had, the quality of it, and pre-designed labs that came with it. So when I expanded it more into the catalog, I decided I wanted to get this refrigeration trainer in my program to expand my program. My experience so far using the TU-155 has been a pretty good experience, especially my second year students, and the light bulb kind of syndrome goes off when you see that little flicker in their eye and oh, I got it. That's what us instructors, what we look for is the I got it moment. And this helps me to the I got it moment with my students, and that's what's my goal to achieve.
We are Daikin, the #1 global indoor comfort provider. Our innovative home and building solutions are engineered with energy efficiency and sustainability at their core, ensuring improved indoor air quality for all. From heating and cooling to ventilation, air purification, refrigeration technologies, and connected devices, we're at the forefront of technology, addressing the pressing challenges of sustainability.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Did You Know, the ESCO HVAC podcast. Brigham, I think we lost some video feed. If it doesn't pop back through, we may have to log out and then come back in. I hear the audio, but I think our video got stuck on us. So we're going to spend a little bit of time today talking about what I think is a very important conversation and very timely in our society. You know, we have so many things impacting our lives daily. We are bombarded with social media. We are bombarded with conversations. And what we need to be starting to think about is what is the best route of communications? So we're spending some time today with Brigham Dickinson, the founder and president of Power Selling Pros. Brigham, what's going on? Uh-oh, have we lost you? All right, I'm going to pull Brigham out and have him sign back in here in a second. We were having a problem getting his video flipped. He should be checking back in here in just a second. You know, because we spend a lot of time talking about the technical side of our industry, and many of us as educators came from the field. We spend most of our career, you know, in the technical side. We become very skilled technicians. Hey, Brigham. But when we move into the classroom, then we have to start picking up some additional tools. And we look at communication and teaching communication to our students as a new tool. And sometimes it's something that we have to pick up because we're not experienced with that in the past. So Brigham spends a lot of time focusing on particularly contractors. Helping contractors understand this, because many times contractors will get employees, they'll hire technicians, and they'll find that they are lacking these communication skills. And as we are starting to use technology more, we were starting to spend more time in the social media, life can get very complicated. And many times we need to step back and re-look at communication. So Brigham, I really appreciate you joining us today. We've got Kendrick joining in from Chicago. Kendrick, how's it going up there? Everyone, let us know where you're joining. I am actually in the office today. We got some storms passing through, so I figured I'd hang out here in the office instead of from the studio. Brigham, where are you joining us from?
Utah. Can you imagine?
Utah.
Brigham from Utah.
How about that? What's the weather like out there?
It's beautiful. I'm in southern Utah. It's more of a desert type of climate, and it's great. Salt Lake is about 3,000 feet up. It's on the northern side of Utah, and I'm on the southern side of Utah, about a 2-hour drive to Las Vegas.
Fantastic. Hey, well, I tell you, we'll be there. We'll be in Vegas for this National HVACR Education Conference. I know I got to get you there for next year. If we can get you there in the next few weeks, boy, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Hey, that's easy. If it's in Vegas, piece of cake.
Yeah, it's at the South Point. So that is March 22nd through the 25th at the South Point Hotel. For those of you who are on the call and going to be there, can't wait to have you. Howard 72 in Denver in sunny. Katie joining us in from Missouri. Katie, well, I tell you, Katie has got a fantastic program, and Katie, I promise, it's on my calendar. I'm hoping to be there for that next Tuesday. Katie's an instructor over in Missouri, and she has a program called From Tutus to Tool Belts, Brigham, where she works with middle school girls to show them the trades. Like, these are like middle school girls who would have been in tutus or out there with torches.
I love that.
It's amazing. It's a phenomenal program. George joining us from Western Kentucky. Thanks for hanging out with us. So yeah, they've got one of their From Tutus to Tool Belts coming up on Tuesday. So trying to make that one happen. I know that some of us from ESCO are going to be there for that.
That is super cool.
So Brigham, tell us let's start with this. You know, when you approached with this conversation, I thought, this is probably something everyone should be learning. It's something very important for the customer service, and we have a customer service team, and I hope our own customer service team are going to, if they're not joining us, that they're going to come back and listen to this later, because this is a lot about talking. Oh man, Osvaldo's on. I love having Osvaldo here, but man, he really knows how to rub it in, doesn't he? He's down in San Pedro, joining from the island. I got to do a show from Belize sometime. Howard's on the call, maybe Howard or our
pull some strings.
Our dedicated listeners. I think we have to do a road show down to Belize.
All right, I'll go. I'm feeling it right there.
So, Brigham, how do we slow down the conversation and actually communicate with people in this ever escalating, crazy world that we live in?
Okay, so let's talk about why we should slow down. So whether you're the CSR, the customer service rep, the person answering the phone, or the technician, or anybody else for that matter, homeowners in general, and all of us for that matter, we have a tendency to want to go really fast. Right? Let's get this done.
Yes, all the time.
Let's move.
All the time.
Let's get it done yesterday. And so when a customer gets on the phone, they have in their mind a mindset. And the mindset is I'm going to compare something, right? Whatever this company has to all the other companies that I'm going to call. Right? So they are comparison shopping. That's their mindset when they get on the phone. And now how do we know they're comparison shopping? Well, they might say something like, "Hey, what do you charge to come out?" Never happens, except when it happens all the time, right? Or you know what? I just want to talk to a technician. Okay, I just want to talk to a technician over the phone. Happens all the time. Why? Because they are comparison shopping. If I can get a hold of the technician here, and maybe I don't even have to have somebody come out and fix it if I talk to a technician, right? So they're comparing. They're trying to figure out how to get this taken care of as quickly as possible. Why?
Fast.
Yeah, so I can go back to my life. I want to go back to my life.
Yeah, I'm on my lunch break. I got 5 of these companies I got to call. Who's the cheapest?
Yeah, or I took the day off today, and I've got to get somebody today because I don't want to take another day off, right? I've only got so many days off that are paid.
Who can be here in 10 minutes.
Exactly. So who did this? Well, it's Amazon, Clifton. It was Amazon who did it, and before them it was Walmart.
Boy, it's changed the world.
They really have. They really have. And so they call in.
Changed the way people shop.
Yeah. They call in, and you got to slow down. You got to slow it down. So they call in and say, "Hey, what do you charge to come out?" What we're going to do is we're simply going to say, well, tell me more about your situation. It really depends. Now, side note, does it not depend? If they want to fix their system, chances are there's going to be a cost involved for us to come out. Now, if they want to replace it, there may not be a cost there for us to come out. Okay, so it really does depend. It's not a put off, right? It's not me trying to get around the question. No, hey, what do you trust to come out? It really depends on your situation. Can you tell me more about it? Well, yeah, I've got this air conditioner. It's blowing hot air. My gosh, that's terrible. How long has it been doing that? Oh, last couple of days. Well, look, we could totally help you with that. When would you like us to come out? Oh, this afternoon would be good. What just happened there?
Yeah, you created a conversation. You actually slowed the person down and had a one-on-one conversation.
Yeah. So the mindset in the beginning is comparison. My objective is to transition that mindset from comparison shopping to trust, meaning it's not just about booking the call. It's about us becoming the homeowner's last call.
Absolutely.
How do we do that? We listen, we care, we reassure. Customer has human emotional needs that we want to take care of from the beginning. So we've got to slow the process down. We want to use sound judgment. We want to be genuinely curious about what's going on inside that customer's home. And we want to show them that we sincerely care about them. Okay, those are the three things we need to hit on. If we do that right, we're going to create the right environment to help them see that this is the right company. We are 911. There's no 912. Help us on the way. We are their last phone call. That's the objective.
Howard, our president, Howard Weiss, is on the call today. I imagine this conversation is actually resonating with him because quite often he has this conversation with me about like our own customer service team, where sometimes there's missing information in a recorded call that comes in, or someone called asking about our EPA 608 because they're a school or an instructor and they're shopping for different 608. What's your resources? It's not just about the 608, is it? It's about diving deeper to find out what they're really looking for. And the only way to do that is in that one-on-one, slowed down personal conversation.
Yeah. Now that's over the phone. That's where it starts. That's where trust begins. Once you've established that trust and you're the only one going out, and side note, the technician doesn't want to be one of 5 bids.
Right.
Okay. They want to be the only one that goes out there. And it's not the technician's job to be the only one going out. That is the CSR's job. The CSR's job is to make sure we are the last phone call that homeowner makes. You do that by creating an amazing experience for the customer over the phone. Okay, you have to do that. You slow it down, you use sound judgment, genuine curiosity, and you sincerely care. You show them that you sincerely care about their situation. And that's how you get them to the point where they're like, you know what, this is the right company. Now the technician can take over. So the technician's got a hurdle to overcome as well. Remember, the CSR's hurdle was this guy is comparison shopping, right? This customer's comparison shopping.
Right.
And I got to transition that to trust, fully trusting that this is the right company to work with. All right. So the CSR overcomes the trust hurdle. What's the second hurdle? The second hurdle is the customer, once the technician finally gets there, is thinking about, man, I just need to get by. I need to get by, meaning I need to get this thing working. Get it working so that I can go back to my life, right? And so a technician takes that mindset and goes, usually without training, right? Without practicing what they should do, is they go, okay, cool. I'm going to go in, I'm going to maintain this system, and I'm going to leave. Okay. The issue with maintaining the system is that you might maintain it today. You might get it working today, right? There's a lot of capacitors that are switched out, Clifton.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Tons and tons and tons. And we might recharge the unit, right? In the summers, we are in a hurry. We're changing out capacitors and holy cow. The problem with that is that you're basically kicking the can down the road.
Right.
Of course, what do I mean by that? Well, that system, there's a reason why it needs to be recharged. It's leaking Freon. If it's leaking Freon, it's broken.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not supposed to do that. If it needs a capacitor somewhere along the line, chances are that's a symptom of something much bigger going on with one of the parts inside the system. We know that. Yeah. So we assume, technician assumes that the customer doesn't want to pay too much money. And so they go, okay, we switch out the capacitor, we get it running, we say it's $800, we get our $800 and we leave. We do it 4 times a day. We think we've done a really good job if we do it 4 to 6 times a day. Okay. Instead of looking at the opportunity as kind of a, I don't know, sometimes we look at it as a cost per lead type of one time, one hit, and we move on.
Right.
Well, the problem with that is that a customer might call back the next day and say, hey, your guy was just out to my home, did something, and now it's not working again. There's your sign. Okay, and the CSR starts thinking, oh my gosh, are we terrible? Are we not good at what we do? No, the technician just sped through the process without pulling out their tools, their measurements,
Slowing
checking
down.
Exactly. So how do we slow down? Well, as soon as the technician gets, thanks for getting me back on track there.
No, you're good. No, I knew you were leading to this.
as soon as the customer sees the technician at the front door, I mean, obviously our goal is to get inside the house. 2/3 of your system is inside the home. Can we start there? Sometimes a customer will point them towards the condenser, right? You know what? 2/3 of your system is actually inside your home. Can we start there? We get inside the house, we pull up our notes and we go, all right, according to the office, you've got a system that's blowing hot air. Yeah. How long has it been doing that? Well, this is what's going on. This is how long it's been going on. And then you show them that you're listening and you show them that you care and you reassure them. What are we doing? We're using sound judgment, genuine curiosity, and we're showing that we sincerely care about their situation. So as we're talking about this, if we do it right, we create an environment, safety, comfort, fun. That customer at some point is going to say, you know what? Let me show you something. And then you are earning the tour as you go through the house with them.
Right.
That's what you want. What did you do? You slowed it down. You used sound judgment, genuine curiosity, and you sincerely cared about their situation, right? You listened, you cared, you reassured, just like you do over the phone. If you do that right, you then have the ability to start testing some of these things and finding out the real reason why something's not working, right? We're checking static pressure. We're checking the electricity. We're checking the entire system, the temperature in different rooms. We're seeing if vents are shut. We're seeing if they've got inhalers on the coffee table, right? We're going through and doing it right and really diagnosing the situation. So now, as we start talking to them, we're not just maintaining the system, you guys. We're actually talking about ways to enhance their quality of life. So let me just say that again. Our goal is not just maintain quality of life inside the customer's home, but actually enhance homeowner quality of life.
You bet.
You do it by slowing down. Slow it down. Create an experience for the customer. This isn't McDonald's. This is not Amazon. It's more akin to Chick-fil-A. It's more like Disney. Okay, when you go to Disney, there's 2 things that are guaranteed. You're going to pay more than a usual theme park.
True.
And you're going to wait longer in the lines. Funny thing, people will pay more to wait in longer lines. This is also true at Chick-fil-A. The biggest problem they have is keeping people in the line. So what do? They double down and triple down on the amount of people that help you usher you through the line so that you get through the line. But here's the amazing thing. When you're in that line, you're getting smiles and my pleasures. And if you're lucky, you might.
You're right.
Yeah. And you eye contact and just the way they make you feel, right? Handshake of the host affects the taste of the roast. There's one time I drove up to a Chick-fil-A and said, do you really freshly squeeze all that lemonade? And the gal, she didn't miss a beat. She said, yeah, every day. You want to try some? As if I've never tried it before. And of course I played the part. I was like, yeah, I wonder how it tastes.
Whoa, hold on a minute. Now you struck my interest. And I'm sure people are wondering why we're having this conversation. And it is very important. And Howard brings up such a great comment. Treat people the way that you want to be treated, understand their needs. That begins with listening to them. The importance of this, particularly as educators, is as we're preparing our students to go out into the workforce, they're going to encounter, like Brigham and I were just discussing before the show, they're probably going to encounter 2 different contractor types. And depending on the type of person they are, they may end up in one of the contractor types and not like that and think that that's all there is in the industry, because we have a lot of private equity investing right now that's going with a certain type of model. But then we also have the others that are taking Brigham's approach, which is a very different perspective and a very successful perspective, because we're slowing things down. The model, I mean, think about the model that you were just talking about there, Brigham. Am I going to McDonald's, or am I going to somewhere that has an experience, who actually asked me, do you know about my lemonade? I've never been to a McDonald's and somebody asked me if I'd like to try their lemonade, unless it's on sale.
Never.
Right?
Never.
So our contractors, are we starting to see that in contractors now? We're seeing two different types of contractor models because of this?
Yeah. So we have those contractors who are kind of forcing you into a model. Say, for example, they're using AI to answer their phones. They're basically saying this is the way that we conduct business now. So meaning any type of customer that gets on the phone, there are going to be some who like talking to avatars to book their calls, right? It's going to be very transactional. But there are going to be others who say, can I just talk to a person?
I want the person.
Yeah. Let me give you another example of that. There's this older guy who was standing at the post office in a line. And funny thing at the post office is they just got these new nifty machines where you can basically plug in the package, the size, the weight, so on and so forth. It'll weigh it for you. It'll print out a sticker that you can put right on the box, and you just leave it at the front desk and you can leave. And so there was a gal there that worked at the post office that she was kind of helping some of the people in the line to use the machine as opposed to wait for somebody at the front desk. Well, there was this older gentleman that was in the line, and she came up to him and she said, "Hey, looks like you've got a package." "Yep, I've got a package." You need it mailed?" "Yep, I need it mailed off." "Well, did you know that there's these nifty machines over here that'll make it a whole lot easier for you to get that shipped out? I'm happy to walk you through it if you'd like." And he's like, "No, I'm good. I'll stay in the line." She's like, "Well, it's this new machine. It's awesome. It's easy. I mean, doesn't it just make sense to come?
Why wouldn't you want to use this?"
Exactly. She just couldn't understand why.
It might save you some time and money.
Exactly. And then finally, the older gentleman admitted, the machine won't ask me about my arthritis. And he stayed in the line. You see, the last thing we want is to force a homeowner to do business the way that we want to do business, right? It is not my intention to disagree with one of our listeners there. We don't necessarily want to treat people the way we want to be treated. Instead, we want to treat people the way they want to be treated. The way they want to be treated. So what does that mean? What that means is we're not going to force them to conduct business with us the way that we want to conduct business. Instead, we're going to give them the option to either work with us or work with the machine. Let them decide, as opposed to forcing them into a box. So we have the options. Yeah, sure. We want to have AI, especially for the calls that we can't get on, right? If there's a call coming in and our team of CSRs can't answer it, yeah, great. Use that tool to book that call. But you're going to notice that AI is very transactional. Mm-hmm. It is programmed to do what a homeowner or a caller wants them to do. It doesn't necessarily go above and beyond that. In other words, it doesn't say, "Hey, yeah, we freshly squeezed our lemonade. Would you like to try some?" Right? It doesn't ask about arthritis. Right? That's what a high performer does. And so what you do when that AI books the call is you make sure one of your high performers calls afterwards and says, "Hey, how did you like the avatar? Was the experience a good experience? Do you like the time that you were scheduled for? Do we need to move it up? Do we need to move it down?" Let me also tell you, the technician that we're sending out, he's awesome. He's trained, he's certified, he's backed, he's been around for the last 30 years. You're in great hands. He's going to come out, he's going to look at the scope of the work, determine exactly what you need, and he'll give you a price before he starts. You'll have clear options as well as a clear trade-off with every one of those options. You're going to love this guy. Again, my goal as a CSR, whether I get to it first or the avatar gets to it first, is to make sure that we are the last call that homeowner makes.
Right.
Okay. And so our goal is to create an experience, and we want to use that AI as a tool, because that's what it is. It's a tool. Some people ask me, should I use this tool or that tool? This AI or that AI? And it's like we were talking about earlier. It's kind of like asking, hey, should I use Milwaukee or DeWalt? And I've got half half the room saying DeWalt and half the room saying Milwaukee. There are probably people right on our call today who are going to say Milwaukee or DeWalt
Guarantee
or
it.
something different.
Yeah.
And so, but it's a tool. It won't build you a house. Okay. What builds a house? Well, it's high performers. It's high performers that build the house. So what we want to do is we want to create high performers that perform at that high level with the phone, that change comparison shopping into trust, as well as getting by into living better. Okay, a technician's objective is to help the homeowner realize that they don't have to live this way. The way that they're living, they actually can live. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
So I was with a technician. We were doing a ride along. And it was actually on a callback. In fact, this technician had some electrical expertise, and this is the reason why he was going to be sent out. The original technician said, hey, watch out for this homeowner. He's name the superlative, right? Never happens, right? Never happens. Which totally helped, right? It totally helped the mindset of the technician that I was with. Sure enough, we get to the house on this callback, and right on the front, there's this beware of dog sign. And we're like, okay, so we want to beware of dogs. And then the guy comes out and he doesn't look very happy. And we start talking. Now, my technician, the guy that's working with me, he just went through my training, but as soon as he saw this guy, all that training was out the door. He's like, okay, really? Where's the crawl space? I want to
bypass
get
the slow down.
Exactly.
Get me straight to the piece of equipment.
He wanted in that crawl space really bad. And I kind of tapped him on the shoulder and I said, actually, 2/3 of the system's inside the home. We would like to start there. And technician's like, oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So we start going into the house. And as we go into the house, we start to notice some things. One of the things that we noticed was a portable humidifier in one of the rooms. You know, the ones you fill with water every day?
Oh, got two.
So we see that portable humidifier.
I can't get a water supply over to my furnace, otherwise I'd have a whole house.
So we go past the front room and there's a portable humidifier there. By the time we were done walking through the house, we had 3 portable humidifiers throughout the house. He also had 4 dogs. 4 dogs. We started talking about pet dander, and then the homeowner brought up the fact that his wife doesn't like the smell. Mm-hmm. Right? She gets used to the smell, but when she gets back from work, she notices the smell and doesn't like it. It takes about an hour to get used to it again. And so we start talking about the different things that you can do to mitigate the smells that are inside the house, even though they've got 4 dogs. And you know, these are great people. They rescued 2 of those dogs. Okay, so we get it. We get it.
Learn by slowing down and talking to them.
Exactly. And then we started talking about how he uses propane to heat his home. And I explained how electricity is a much more efficient way to heat the home with a heat pump and with some mini splits and so on and so forth. And he was blown away. Blown away. Well, on a callback, he decided to have a comfort advisor come out to his home and he replaced everything. He added humidifiers, air scrubbers, UV lights, and traded out that propane heating system with a electric heat pump. Changed his world. Our goal is not just to maintain quality of life. Our goal is to enhance it. The technology today, compared to even what it was 2 years ago, is light years away.
Practically different.
We need to at least educate. We're not selling here. Never once did I say the word sales. We're educating and we're asking. Okay? Options with clear trade-offs with each option. And then they decide. If you can create the right environment, even on callback, you can help people live better.
Man, I think about that just as an educator. You know, what am I teaching in my classroom? What am I preparing my students for when they get in the field? Because many times we're so stuck on teaching how to troubleshoot that we're probably instinctively teaching our students to ask what the problem is, where's the equipment, versus slowing it down, getting a bigger picture, understanding the entire scenario, because people want to tell you the entire scenario.
Yeah.
You just have to slow down and have an actual conversation to do that.
Yeah.
Sounds like it should be easy, but it's really not. Because I think we've retrained our brains to be fast. or faster.
We think that that's what the homeowner wants.
Right.
The homeowner only wants that because they don't know the difference, right? They're used to Amazon. They're used to McDonald's. They don't know the difference. They don't know that there's going to be a difference. It is really up to the technician to create that experience, as well as the CSR, to show that there's a difference. Let me give you one more example.
Mm-hmm. No, please, because these are great.
You tell me when I'm out of time, okay?
Yeah.
So
No, we got a half an hour left. We're good.
Okay, I was in South Carolina, and what about the rest of you guys? You want another experience?
Yeah,
Sure
let us know in the
Here we
chat,
go.
because I'm sure you're all hanging in here. You're all going, okay, this is actually making sense. I like talking to people. Why did I forget that I like talking to people? And why am I not teaching my students how to talk to people?
So I was at AAA in Columbus, South Carolina. Super cool company. In the beginning, we were kind of talking about what type of company do you want to work for. Roy Finley is an example of who you want to work for. This is a tangent, Clifton, but it's a healthy tangent. I'll go back to it. I'll go back to the story itself. But when you work with somebody who has literally put in their blood, their sweat, their tears to grow this bad boy, right? To grow this thing, and not just for himself, right. Exactly. Not just for the community, not just for their kids, but just everybody, to create an environment for technicians to look forward to coming to work, right? For CSRs to be able to provide for their kids. I mean, this guy, he's the kind of guy that you want to work with. Now, there are signs for this, right? If they're holding weekly meetings where they create time to go over company purpose, company mission, company core values, practice the way it should be over the phone, the way it should be in the customer's home, rewarding for the behavior you want, talking about 5-star reviews and how to turn service calls into replacement calls, and constantly setting the standard as a group. That is one sign that that's the type of place that you can learn from, grow from, and look forward to being there on a regular basis. They're there. They're in just about every market. You just gotta search for them. It's not about, for many of these types of companies, you'll find out real quick that it's not just about the money for them, right? Yes, we all need to have an income to provide for our families, but it's much, much bigger than that. And guys like Roy, the guys that put their heart and soul into it, are the kind of guys that you want to work with and want to work for. So be sure to search out those guys. And that's one way to do it, right? Aside from the benefits, aside from training, somebody who is willing to invest in training and to create culture, right? The culture builders. Those are the guys that you want to work with. All right. So I digress. I'm doing this ride along. Guy's name is Wade. Technician's name is Wade. Super cool guy. We get in to this home, and we're talking with this gal. Of course, her furnace isn't working. And I don't know, why am I talking about furnace jobs? Well, because you guys, that's the season that we're just getting through, right? We're just getting in the tail end of a furnace season. And I'm not the kind of guy that, was in a shop 10 years ago. Okay. I'm talking about things that happened last week.
Okay.
Okay. It's relevant. So this furnace, their furnace wasn't working, and it was a shoddy installation. I've got a few pictures, and we'll do this the old-fashioned way. I'll just pull it up on my phone.
There you go.
And why this is the old-fashioned way, I don't know. Just come along with me, right? So Wade and I, we ended up going into the attic. Her husband wasn't there. And I said, you know what, Wade, as opposed to explaining this to her and then having her explain it to her husband, let's just create a few videos, make them a minute or less. And we can just kind of show what's going on here. That way she can share the videos with her husband and not have to share this secondhand. And Wade was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So you got to be really careful in a crawl space, right? You pull down the stairs, and I'm literally kind of straddling where the stairs go. So if you are not careful, this could end very badly. So I've got one foot on one side of the hole to the through the stairs, right? through the roof
Yeah.
or through the crawl, whatever it is.
It's got a hole.
The area up there. and I've got my other foot on the other side, right? So I am literally one false step and it's over, right? And so Wade, I say, as soon as we see this installation, we're seeing like, the adhesive that glues the two PVC pipes together, the blue stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, this stuff was you had it dripping down the front of the furnace. Embarrassing. So, and you know what this is? This is a new construction heating and cooling company that's trying to throw in boxes, as many as they can every day, and bounce. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can find these pictures. But this is me just not being able to do two things at once here.
That's quite okay.
But the story is worth it, right? Okay. So getting close here. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay. See if I can.
Yeah. Brigham and Wade. Some things we're seeing right out of the gate. Hey, Brea. Brigham and Wade.
Brea.
Some things we're seeing right out of the gate. I'm gonna let Wade take over. Go ahead, Wade.
So you definitely have some issues here with your installed systems. These motors are starting to spin just by touching, just like that.
Is it supposed to do that, Wade?
No, not at all. Oh, look at there. Just by pulling on it, it's worn itself out. It's to where it will not open up the damper flap inside completely. And this has probably got something to do with, definitely this is your upstairs damper where you're having all your issues.
Okay, so we know what's going on right out of the gate.
Right.
And that's not all. Okay, remember 4 different videos. I've got it opened up now. Okay, he's going through and he's just explaining what's happening to the system. Why do we do this? Why do we go to all this effort? So that she doesn't have to explain anything to her husband. Sure. 4 different videos, and all I did was airdrop it. I just airdropped it right onto her phone. That way I wasn't like, hey, could I have your phone number? Right?
Yeah.
No, we just airdropped those things on there. She was sniffling. While we were talking to her. And I said, why are you sniffling? And she's like, well, pollens this time of year. And I said, would you like us to include some products that could help mitigate those issues? She's like, well, tell me more. We started talking about air scrubbers and UV lights and so on and so forth. And she said, and I asked, would you like me to include that in one of the options? Was I selling? No, I was just simply saying, hey, you're sniffling. Let's mitigate that. Let's put it in one of the options. Would you be all right with that? She said, yes, great. It's an option. She said, yes to that option. We put it in there. Right, we put it in the option. She said, I don't want to make any decisions right now. My husband's not home. Great. No problem. Show him the videos. We'll give you the proposal. Call us. You let us know. Sure enough, she calls later that day. She says, we want to do it. We want to install the new system, so on and so forth. I don't know if you saw on the video, let's see.
Here's another one right here. This capacitor, which, are you filming?
Yep.
This capacitor, which is powers up your blower motor. The blower motor is what drives all the air throughout your vents. Its capacitor that powers up the motor is reading a 4.1 and it's supposed to be a 7.5. So it's almost at 50% capacity.
Yeah, it's working way too hard.
So it's working way too hard. So me kind of translating what he's saying, it's working way too hard right now, right? So what do we notice there? That even in that situation, could we have switched out the capacitor and moved on? Yep. We could have got it. We could have got it working, no problem, and left. And then she'd call us the day later, for sure. You guys were just here, and now it's not working again. Okay, we got to do stuff like this. This is the stuff that creates an experience that helps them realize it's not just about getting by. It's actually about doing better. Let's do better. You can live better, and we're going to show you how to live better. And when you do that, you're creating a Disney-like experience. And when you create a Disney-like experience, people will pay your price. They'll defend your price, and they'll refer everybody to you.
Sure. Well, I even think about that with our programs. We have a lot of educators that are with us today, and how do you set the value of your program? Do you teach just technical, or are you teaching those students how to actually communicate properly? Because as a value to the contractor, remember, as an instructor, our goal is to place well-trained students with quality contractors. That's our goal. And if we're not helping them understand the contractor environment once they leave our classroom, we're really doing a disservice. So by helping and introducing these concepts in the classroom, we're actually enabling these students to be more prepared. Because there might be those students that come out of the class going, you know what, I just want to do a whole bunch of calls every day. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to explain stuff. I just want to do my work and go home. But you take a student that really wants to be proud of what they do and feel like they are helping every single customer. Well, that's a different type of contractor, but a very successful contractor when it is built around this principle.
You got it.
When you're building that experience.
You got it. This is the same principle as, do you really freshly squeeze this lemonade? Yeah, every day. Would you like to try some? Or, hey, they won't ask me about my arthritis. These videos are examples of high performers that go above and beyond, creating a unique experience for every homeowner that they work with.
Yeah. Joey, I'm so glad you're joining us today. Joey Henderson, JoJo, the HVAC man, one of the most technical instructors and influencers in our industry, saying right there, number one goal is a relationship with the customer. Like, no matter how good of a technician you are, no matter how fast you can fix a piece of equipment, it's not always about that speed. It's very much about building the relationship and listening to that homeowner to understand what's going on. Because you might be the fifth person here talking about the same thing over and over and over, whereas you could be the one person that's actually asking questions and getting to the root of the problem that they may not have even understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Joey. I guess I was saying it while you were thinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And so when we look at the industry and the way that it's transitioning, Brigham, we know that we are in a period of questionable economy, right? Where the consumers are very cautious of their spending. They will spend it if they know that it is being done by the right company and the right technicians. But it's really about, they want to have that experience. They want to have that relationship. Technology has changed the way that we communicate with people. And we want everyone listening to understand that as educators, it is our responsibility to teach communication just as much as it is to teach the technology. And so I hope you're listening, and I hope that you're gathering, and I'm hoping you're wanting to learn more about this, because Brigham has some phenomenal classes, and it is really is here for this. Like, he has a passion for helping people communicate with other people.
Yeah. Well,
I appreciate you.
I appreciate it as well. There's another video I wanted to show you guys. It doesn't matter. Technicians in general like to stay in their comfort zone. They like to stay in their comfort zone. I promise you that you will do better by the customer. And as a result, you'll make more money by living outside your comfort zone. So here's what I mean by this. I've got a company that I work with in Ohio. It's Simpson Salute. And one of the technicians at Simpson Salute, I don't know if you remember the guy that did a backflip or like an aerial off the piano of the Grammy Awards. He was like singing a song. And he did this aerial off of this piano. I can't remember the guy's name. And I can't even remember the song, but the whole thing went viral, right?
Yep.
The whole thing went viral. Well, a technician 3 days later sings the same song, right? He lip syncs the same song, and he jumps off a condenser, does the same aerial off of a condenser for social media. He lands on his back, but he jumps up and finishes the lip sync. Okay. This video goes viral. And people are calling this company left and right.
Yeah, I bet.
So what's the point here? Your goal is, when you get inside the customer's home, is to create an environment of safety, of comfort, of fun. Inside of that kind of environment is a buying environment. When you go to a mall and you shop at a mall, you feel safe, you feel comfortable, you're having fun, you have no problem pulling out your credit card. Okay, the same is true inside the customer's home. Your objective is to create an environment of safety, comfort, and fun. What if you can create the environment, the persona that you are safe, that you are comfortable, and that you are fun, even before you step inside the customer's door? The power of social media and those TikTok type things and Instagram type things, that sort of thing, where technicians choose to just step outside their comfort zone a little bit, doing stuff like that will change their income. It'll change their results. It'll change their value for the company to something much more positive and much more indispensable. Guys, what I mean by indispensability is that you can't be replaced. You can't be replaced. When you do stuff like this, stuff that no other technician is willing to do, because you guys, I've met plenty of them. I'm not going to do that. This is ridiculous. Just let me go and do my job. Cool. You go and do your job, but it's going to affect your income. Okay, let me give you one more example. We got time for another example, don't we?
Oh, yeah. You know, absolutely. Yeah, our examples are our slides today.
So let me just show you this real quick. My son Isaac is about to go on a mission. Okay.
Excellent. Good for him.
He's going to he lives in Utah, and he's going to Dallas East. So those of you who are in Dallas East, okay, so the east side of Dallas, all the way over to like Tyler, Texas, a little bit in Oklahoma, and a little bit in Arkansas, okay? If you see a kid that looks somewhat like this, okay, he's probably starving. This is how he looked before he was called on a mission.
Okay.
This is how he looks now.
Oh.
By the way, let me ask you something. Who would you rather have knock on your door? This kid, this clown, or this kid?
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously this kid. Why do I even bring that up? Well, I meet a lot of technicians, and I see a lot of funky hairstyles, you guys.
And gals.
And gals. Dress for success. Dress for success. This is not about you. This is not about, oh, this is who I am. Dude, be who you are at home. Be who you are at home. You be whatever you want at home. I don't care what you wear at home. But if it is about growing a brand, if it is about providing for your family, trust me when I tell you that your appearance does affect your income. Okay. 100%. The way you smell. Okay. I usually have technicians smell each other in my first meeting with them. Smell each other. That's awkward. That's weird. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. If you need some Febreze, use it. If you need a clean shirt for presentations and a dirty shirt for installations,
for work, I kept them in. Yep.
Do it. Okay. Listerine, you guys, your goal is to get them to hang out with you while you're doing your testing, your inspection. Get them to hang out with you. Let them discover with you what's going on. I promise you, if you have bad breath, they're not going to hang out with you. They're not. One of the things I like to do is say, okay, you smelled each other. Now smell each other's breath. And they're like, oh, this is ridiculous. What are you trying to do here? Bro, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. Let me give you another example of this. There's one year I went to an event. It was It was a manufacturer event, and I went without a beard. I didn't think it was a big deal. Well, every year for like 5 years, I would come and do this event, do a breakout, and I would do it with a beard.
Right.
So the problem with that is that nobody recognized me. Okay, so when the room finally recognized, you guys, it's Brigham that's speaking. Brigham's got a beard. That's not Brigham. That's Brigham. So for the first time, they're trying to figure out who this guy even was. They're deciding whether or not to even go to my breakout because I didn't have a beard. It's because they didn't recognize me. And so why didn't I have a beard? Well, that year, my son brought home some kids, some wrestling buddies. He was a sophomore in high school. And he said, hey, it's super intimidating to see you around the house with a beard. And I'm like, wow, what's wrong with my beard? What makes me look so intimidating? I don't understand. And so I shaved it. As soon as I shaved it, my wife looked at me and was like, she was ticked. She was really upset. She's like, do not go without a beard. And so I'm realizing right out of the gate, what am I missing here? Little bit less attention from my wife. She's waiting till my beard grows back for me to get a kiss. Okay. Number one sacrifice I didn't realize I was making. And I go to a breakout at this event and people may not even show up because I don't have a beard. Okay. I could just stick to, you know what? This is me. This is who I am. You got to enjoy my, no, stop. Every decision you make about your appearance will affect your income. It will affect your income. You need to decide. There's this thing called opportunity cost. And you need to consider the opportunity cost. Okay. What is an opportunity cost? If I go with this opportunity, that means I'm saying no to 1,000 other opportunities where I could spend my time. So if I go this direction, that means I cannot go that direction. Okay. There is an opportunity. The cost, right? The cost of this is the cost of me going after that opportunity. Okay. There's an opportunity cost for every decision you make. The first thing you need to do is recognize that it's not about you. It's not about you. And when you recognize that it's not about you, you then decide what's best for the homeowner. What's best for my boss? What is best? What is best for me as a team player on this team? Okay? Then you decide how you dress, how you cut your hair, whether or not you wear earrings, whether or not you cover up those tattoos, whether or not A, B, C, D, okay? At least Febreze, at least Listerine, at least a clean shirt. And if you don't, I promise you it's negatively affecting your income. And it's not only hurting you, it's hurting your family, it's hurting your company, and it's hurting your future.
You know, Osvaldo, I'm so glad that you're joining us. We don't get a lot of young technicians on the show. I hope that we start getting more young technicians on our show, Brigham, because Osvaldo is a perfect example of why we do what we do. Not every conversation we have here is for every member of our regular community, even though it probably actually is. But for some, it means a lot. So I think of Osvaldo as a young technician who is trying to do well, trying to find his place in this community, his place in HVAC. And obviously, things that were not taught when he was learning the technical skills weren't taught that this is a part of being a good employee who can find a job with a good contractor who is doing best practices and is building their business around this type of model. And I'm telling you, there are plenty out there. Brigham is the example of that. He caters to contractors who are building this model, this professional model. And if you ask a student what type of contractor they want to work for, if you ask them, do you want to work for a contractor who believes in safety, comfort, and fun? You're going to go, yeah, that's what I want. What does it take to get there? And as a community, as a village of HVAC, that's what we're here to do. That's why we bring in Brigham to be able to speak on these topics that everyone comes going, oh, we're going to learn about inverters this week. Nope. This week, we're going to learn how to be people and how to slow down for a conversation. It's good stuff. I've had more listening and more breaks in this conversation than I've had in many episodes. So thank you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Brigham, where can we learn more about what you do?
Okay, so Power Selling Pros is the name of the company. PowerSellingPros.com. That's POWER. There it is. Power Selling Pros. POWERSELLINGPROS.com. Go to that website. You can learn all about us. But what we do is we leverage AI. We leverage AI to listen to your CSRs, to listen to technicians. And what we do is we monitor their calls, we monitor their performance, and we provide feedback through coaching. So one-on-one coaching accountability twice a month for about a half hour per session. And our goal is to drive sales over the phone and in the customer's home by making sure that we hold the CSRs, the customer service reps, your call center, as well as your technicians accountable to perform at a high level. These are some of the things that we look for and that we coach on. But at the end of the day, if they can slow it down over the phone and in the home using sound judgment, genuine curiosity, sincerely caring, it's going to change a lot. Instead of just focusing in on cost per lead or just a lead in general, looking at it as a long-term customer. If you can create an amazing experience for this customer and do it right, what'll happen is they'll pay your price, they'll defend your price, and they'll refer everybody to you. That's the type of business that we're building with contractors. And if you want that kind of business, give us a call or go to our website and click on the demo link, and we'll take you through a demo to show you what we can do.
You know, Osvaldo, I really do appreciate you joining us because this is why we do what we do. I'm so grateful to work for a company like ESCO Institute. Our president, Howard Weiss, is on here today. Many of our educators are on here with us. Jojo, the HVAC man. Katie, who just actually earned her Certified Master HVACR Educator certification to be at the conference with us. You know,
That's cool.
Here's the answer to your question, Osvaldo. What if people don't take you seriously because you're a young technician? This is why we teach this. Just like Brigham was saying, if you go in with a professional appearance and you create an environment of safety, comfort, and fun, despite being a younger technician, you will win over those experienced technicians who don't put that customer in a state of safety, comfort, and fun. If they mess up any of those, if they feel intimidated, they've lost safety. If they feel like the presence of the person is overpowering, they're going to lose comfort. And if they're boring and dull, they're going to lose fun. If they lose any of those three, they have lost the conversation. If you can provide those three, you will win the conversation.
Yeah, despite your age or independent of your age.
Exactly. Well, Brigham, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'm grateful every time we have these conversations. I look forward to future ones. I encourage everyone to dive a little deeper with Power Selling Pros, and we will see you all again next week on Did You Know, the ESCO HVAC Show. Bye, everybody.